What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Of course, as promised, I have some more gameplay for you. Today I have game 1 of the Soul Striker Reborn or Reboot leader versus the Super Saiyan Gotenks leader from set 10. Both these are new leaders. Max is playing the Goku and Anthony is playing the Gotenks. So let's get right into it. Apologies for the lack of visual fidelity, but filming on Untap hasn't been too great. We might have to move over to Octagon because honestly the quality it's just not very good, but hopefully it is clear enough for you there. Of course, both of these leaders are of interest right now. With the Soul Striker Reboot, of course, or people like Soul Striker. Personally, I'm not a fan of the reboot. I think the original is better, but Max has, of course, made one of his spicy builds, and you can see it in action here. And Gotenks, of course, is one of the more favoured leaders at the moment. We'll see how the format settles, but Gotenks seems to be strong. Just as from card design point of view, it is a very good leader. It's just a better Broly, really, and Broly was a very good leader, great leader, top slot of events. So it'll be interesting to see what Max's build is like. I have told them to reveal the hands of this game, just so you can see what sort of things they're playing with and what decisions they make, what lines of play they decide to take. But of course this is just the friendly that they played, nothing too competitive, so there probably will be some misplays, but yeah, I hope you enjoy the gameplay. Anthony there, starting off with the Gogeta Unison, which it's good. It allows him to fix his hand if he chooses to do that. He does have another Unison there, so he could potentially pitch that. Maybe a Nimbus. No, you probably want to hold on to the Nimbus, so probably nothing to pitch at the moment. The Bojack maybe, but I don't think he opts to use the effect actually. Swings into leader and Max takes it. They are both on 6 already, so the game is progressing quite quickly. So as you can see from Max's hand, he's got the Android 17 there, which is sort of one of the win conditions of this deck. You just negate the hand advantage that your opponent has built up throughout the whole game. And you can play quite defensively with this because you have the untaps from the leader, you have a bit of draw power as well. Then blue, of course, has a lot of defensive tools. As you can see, he's got 2 of the trunks there, and also Barrier of Hope as well, which will help. And he's also got the Margin Defiler West Supreme Kai, just for a bit of extra energy, kind of like a ramp, but yeah, kind of like a ramp basically. So he's taken Anthony down to 5, and now he is tapping. Yeah, so he plays the Kai, which leaves him 1 energy up to Senzabine or something. Effectively means he's not tapped out. It does have barrier, although quite a few things to get around barrier now, and with Invoker being a thing, I think people will have a lot of options to remove this card from the field. Though I'm quite sure Max's deck is just a fun deck, so nothing too crazy going on, but it's still an interesting concept if you guys want to look into it yourselves. So Anthony's swinging in. His hand is looking pretty good right now. he does have a lot of options. He's got the defensive options in Bardock, Bojack, the super combo, 2 Nimbus of course, and Cooler to stop any potential counter plays, although that's probably going to come in later on in the game, not quite yet. And the blocker as well, which is quite annoying because it restands itself, and I believe it's 19k, which means it's got a reason. Yeah, it's 19k, so it's got a reasonable body to it. So yeah, it's a good card. The deck is very solid, although sometimes we kind of feel like it doesn't quite get there sometimes. So the Anthony discarded the Nimbus and the second copy of Gogeta to get 2 new cards. The Basil that he drew, that's a very, very strong card, one of his finishers I think. So again, his hand's looking very strong actually. Max's hand is not as strong, definitely very defensive. He's got 3 trunks there, so he can store for quite a long time, maybe hoping to drop the 17. So he opts to play the Goku Black Unison, the Rose Goku Black. This is a blocker, and the auto when this card is switched to active mode by your leader's skill, which it can through the awakened side of the leader. You put a marker on this card. It's activate main for 0 is draw 1 card and then choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. And also it's take off 2 counters to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. So very good at removing threats, and it gets around the KO skills that a lot of cards have now. Swinging in, the Ape is going to attempt to come out. I think Max might Trunks this. So nope, he decides not to. The Ape does come out and Anthony draws. Of course he can't tap the Kai because that has barrier. So yeah, so the Ape comes out and Max just gets rid of it. Bottom decks the threat. So in terms of card advantage, Max has a bigger hand, so this leader, this Reboot definitely seems to do a lot more in terms of hand size, because the original Soul Striker you would struggle with hand size, especially when you hadn't awakened, because you don't draw on the front side, you just untap 1 energy, which is good, but yeah, not drawing is definitely hurts that deck. It means you need to put a lot of different cards that draw you cards, just so you can keep up early game, otherwise you would be very susceptible to things like hand control. So the Anti swings in and combos another Ape to put Max down to 4. And Max does drop the Trunks this time, so the Ape is back in hand. Presumably Anti can play again if he wants to. Max does, of course, have 2 more Trunks. So swinging into the Unison here. And Max just takes that, which means the Goku Black is down to 1 counter. which isn't ideal, but it's workable. It will get a counter at the end of the turn. So now Max effectively has 5 energy now, so he can start dropping some of the bombs that he has in his hand. He's got the Obuni there. I don't know how to say it. I apologise if I pronounce it incorrectly. Or Bunny. So perhaps he can play that. It's still quite costly at this point, but he does of course have the untap from his leader, and he has a Senzu Bean as well. Can't quite drop the 17 yet, but no, we're getting there. We're getting there. If he had another margin to fire, then it would be quite close. So yeah, it does come down. Then that spawns the 3 counters. There you go, Max with his special counters. I think someone watching this commented on his counters. Yeah, there you go. Nice tokens. So Anthony, I think he attempted to play the Vegeta. I did see the Vegeta flash up, but I'm not really sure where it's gone now. I mean, our bunny, of course, has deflect anyway. So leader swings into the Unison, and he eats a Nimbus, so that is pretty much going to end Max's turn. I mean, he can still play some things, but it doesn't seem like it'll be worth it. Oh yes, of course he has a Unison swing. Nimbus doesn't affect Unison, so he has 1 battle card swing and 1 Unison swing. Interesting there, Anthony beans up. Is he going to attempt to drop a Bardock? Yes. Bardock can rest one of the tokens, which means they can be attacked. Brings you a bit closer to taking the Abuni off the board. So the leader untaps the Unison at the end of the turn. So again, Anti's hand looking very strong here. He does have a lot of different tools, but Max's hand size must be worrying him a little bit. Still both on 4, so they both got down to 4 quite quickly, but both players seem to be holding on and that life counts. Need to swing it in, and you have the block from the Goku Black. So he combos the Vegeta here. He does have another in hand, but this will guarantee that one of the markers is removed from the unison. Leader is still on 10. He's unawakened at this point. And if Max doesn't negate this, then I think, yeah, the Goku Black's gone now. Max doesn't actually have a negate in hand. He does run. You switch around your energy when it's comboed, which is really helpful because it means you can charge something early game, and it's kind of you still have access to it. So sometimes when you charge, if you're forced into certain charges early game, but you might want them later on, because then it allows you to do that, which is really nice. Anthony is cranking up the pressure now, so he goes in. Ooh. He's got the secret ray, he's got the cell, so that can do the quad strike, although he does have a dual attack double strike on board. I'm not sure what he's done there with the. Not sure why the opponent's left the field, because I'm pretty sure it's saved because the after image tokens are still there. Gotenks, the 7-drop, ignores barriers. Oh, it negates the skill and then KOs it, so yeah, that's why it's gone. Swinging in again here. We see another defense. Anthony awakens now. He's whittled Max's hand down a bit. I think he's going for the cell. Ooh. And I think that's game. There's not really much Max can do. Anthony has a lot of combo power in hand. You can drop another ape as well, so Max trying to combo out. I mean, of course, the cell has dual attacks, so we're swinging it again, and don't think there's anything that Max can do about that one. I think he could have played the drunks actually. Yes, although I think he, not sure if he used another trunks early on this turn, but Anthony had the cooler anyway to stop that. And there we go, that is game 1. So 1-0 to the Gotenks, to Anthony. And yeah, Max's deck didn't really go off. It is kind of a saw deck, and then you sort of take everything away from your opponent. Hopefully we'll see that in one of the later games. Please do watch those. They'll be uploaded later on. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, comment, leave your comments below, and remember to sub for more content. And I will see you guys next time.